This week's episode is all about geographic farming and real estate, where Janine and Mondai and I break down what geographic farming is, how we do it, and more importantly, why we do it. So if you are interested in learning how we go about serving our community and how you can do the same and thrive in your business, this is a very good episode to listen to. Hope you enjoy it.
Well, welcome to this very special episode because not only are we doing a Halloween themed because Halloween is tomorrow, but you get the home selling team. This is episode 94, and we're going to be talking about something that is very near and dear to our hearts, and that is geographic farming. So my co-hosts today are Mr. Ryan Hatcher, aka Maverick.
Pete Mitchell.
That's what he calls himself, right?
Yeah, Maverick is his call sign.
Yeah.
His name is Pete Mitchell.
And then my other co-host is Mondai, aka Wednesday, which is so fitting. Love it.
Great.
That is fun.
Hello, everybody.
This is going to be fun. So before we jump in, for those that are listening that are like, what is she talking about, geographic farming? That is basically what we do. That's our method of building our business. And essentially what it is hyper-local, community involvement, consistent marketing, and really serving our communities. So we each primarily focus on the neighborhoods that we live in. Ryan also has an additional neighborhood that he serves. We are number one in each of our farms. And we've done that by consistently pouring into those neighborhoods through marketing, through community events, through our giving back opportunities. And we obviously are a little biased, but we think it's the best way to build your business and build a business that lasts, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a million ways to do real estate, right? And I just despise the idea of cold calling or, some of the traditional ways. And what we find, we talk about this all the time, when we actually have clients to transact with and help, it's much more enjoyable because they already know us. Hopefully they like us, right? And they trust us because they see the evidence of the success that we have in that neighborhood. Yep. So we're the market expert, right? Yep. So it's just a different transaction too.
Yeah, I was filling out a form the other day and they asked me like, what's one of the greatest compliments you've ever been given? And I said, when I meet new people and they say, I know who you are and I love what you do for the community.
That's awesome.
Exactly. There's a lot of giving back to what we do, and I love that. It's more of when I see the community and people in our community, our neighbors, our friends, once they're having a great time at an event or they're meeting other people, because we're also connectors.
Yes.
So I love that connection piece with connecting people with other people. That's what really builds a neighborhood.
Yes.
And the word gets out that with connections, your neighborhood grows and people really want to come and take part of that, those fun activities and meeting other people, because a lot of communities out there, there's no one to bring everybody together. So I love that we can bring people together, but it makes me happy and us happy that we see others enjoying.
Oh, it's the best.
Us, so.
Well,
you had a compliment too, sorry Ryan, from somebody the other day where they live in a neighboring community to yours. So your farm is, you want to say what it is?
Correct. So my farm is Barney Farms.
Yep, and Ryan, you farm.
The Bridges and Legato.
And then Power Ranch.
Right.
But what was the compliment that you got Monday?
It was, so just this past weekend we had a first annual casino night. And this is where we brought in professional dealers, professional tables. We had our fabulous photographer Ian filming for us and taking photos and videos. But we had it catered, so it was a professional event. And we capped it. We went a little over the cap, and it was just a great event where the community, it was fun.
Yep.
People met each other. They were able to get to know one another better. But it was something that they're looking forward to next year. So we had a neighbor who was out at an activity with another neighbor across the street. And the neighbor said, hey, I saw this fun event, and so they were like getting a little FOMO.
Yes, they said, we don't have that in our neighborhood.
We don't have that in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it takes someone who's passionate about building community to actually put the events together, to coordinate so that we can build that.
So here's the cool part about that. So you facilitated that essentially, right?
I had a friend neighbor
Right, but
So
you were
we
the driver.
partnered.
You're the one that started the whole concept, right?
Yes, there
Right.
was an idea. Yes,
And so, how much real estate did you talk about that night?
none,
0, right?
none.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about it because it had nothing to do with real estate. But when they need something, they're going to remember you
Yeah.
because you
Right.
just helped them have this amazing
Yeah.
this amazing fun time.
Top of mind.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Go
And
ahead.
it does help with building our businesses because once we do have those connections and we help others with selling or buying property, those funds that we get from working in our community, they go into funds for providing other great events. So we do have great sponsors who help with, and in fact we had raffles, but a lot of those funds come from our own businesses.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. We're the ones that are backing it. I think
Right.
of all the different ways that you can lead generate. And I would much rather go and do a community event as my form of lead generating and relationship building than just calling on the phone. Because I hate when I get those solicitation calls and I don't want to be that for somebody else.
Right?
I want to talk about whenever I teach a class on geofarming, I always start with what are some myths around why agents don't? What do you guys think? Why do people think, oh, I don't want to farm? What are some reasons why?
The biggest one is it's not immediate gratification.
Yes.
And we live in a world where everything is like got to be super quick and the results have to be there or they're going to stop doing it. And how many times have we seen agents try to geofarm and they'll do it for 3 or 4 months and then they just pedal away.
Yep.
And you have to understand that for it to really kick in, it takes a good year, if not more. And just your example with that event, you're going to do that event once a year, right?
Right.
And there's so many other events that you do during the year. I remember it was my 4th year when the elementary school PTO called me. Because usually every year I would call them and we would, I would say, hey, how can I help? And we'd work some stuff out. They called me and I was like, oh, there we go. So that, it kicked in.
Yeah.
And other things were working too, but that was a big moment. I'm like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that. So it takes too long. I think when you set out to farm, it's the long game. Kind of like what we were talking about yesterday in our meeting, right? Truly, the farming name is so perfect because you really are planting these seeds. And it doesn't happen overnight. You have to water it. You have to fertilize it. You have to invest in it for it to grow, right?
That's what I wanted to talk about. We're having fun because it's Halloween in these costumes, but we really should be in farming clothes because there's a lot of symbolism in that term. That's exactly what you're doing. Is everything that you do, every event, every door hanger, every door knock, every conversation in that neighborhood is a seed that's planted or is being nurtured by something else. And there's a season to plant and there's a season to harvest.
Yes.
And they're not the same.
Yes.
Right, and there's different types of seeds. So we do plant different types of seeds.
Yes.
We have community events. We also have charitable events in our community. So we are doing a food drive. Within Barney Farms, we've also, there's a community, there's a charity that I'm very, very passionate about. It's Jose's Closet. So with the casino night, we really did it in conjunction to get new PJs and blankets for the kids at Jose's Closet for Christmas. So every large event, I like combining that with a charity because we want to give. And there's neighbors in the community that they may not have the opportunity to give other than coming together as a community and partaking in those giving activities. So it's great to have things that we can provide to our neighbors as a resource where to give.
I love that. That reminds me, yesterday I had 2 neighbors from Power Ranch reach out to me because with the government shutdown, people that are on, I think it's called SNAP benefits, aren't getting their benefits right now. And now it's been over a month and it's starting to really impact people. And ultimately, it relates back to being fed. And so these 2 residents reached out to me and said, hey, Janine, we want to essentially create a food bank, and where if anybody that is expecting that and not getting those funds, but they're hungry and need food, they can reach out and we're going to have this food pantry, and then we're going to ask residents if they would donate to it to help them out. And I'm like, I love that. And I love that they thought of me to help them be a part of it, to help them spread the word and all of that.
So just yesterday I was at House of Refuge because I was helping the elementary school with their food drive before ours kicks in a couple weeks. And the guy there said that they're getting a lot of people from the public coming
Yes.
because
Yes.
of those benefits that are not
Yeah.
happening. And not just the residents in the program,
No,
but
I
other
know.
people.
I told House of Refuge when we had our meeting, they told us that they can't keep food on the shelves because of that. People coming outside. So I think this year more than ever, our food drive is going to be so important. And it's awesome that not only do we get to be a part of it, but we get to facilitate that and we make it easy for our neighbors, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to spend some time talking about events in general
Yeah.
and this one in particular. But are there any other reasons why?
Some other myths.
Yes, why?
What do you think,
why people
Monday?
don't do
Some
it?
other myths.
It's time. It's a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to coordinate and get the word out with activities and events. It's just a lot of. So we do newsletters. We do. We run Facebook group pages, and all of that takes time.
Yeah.
Also, with being at the events and coordinating, we're not only at our events. We're with our HOA events
Yes.
too, so we do support our HOAs.
And the schools.
Exactly.
And,
So our elementary schools within our community. So I'm very active with our KMBE, which is the elementary school that's alongside Barney Farms.
Yeah.
I think another big one is they think it's going to be very expensive.
Yes.
The
Right?
expense.
Yes.
And how you started was very inexpensive because what did you do? What was the first thing you did, remember?
I did black and white flyers. I stapled a rubber band to the corner, and then I personally went out and delivered them to the neighbors.
With a little baby in tow.
A little baby pushing my son in a
Right.
stroller. I went out super early in the morning and would deliver those, and then I'd go out later and I would door knock with a different flyer in a different section. So, working with my title company, they were able to help with printing the flyers. But yeah, help offset that cost. So it doesn't have to be expensive. It's going to be more of a little bit of that sweat equity, right? The biggest thing though, I would say is the idea that you send a postcard out or you deliver mailers and you should get somebody to call you right away.
Right.
And that's not how this works.
That's not how farms work. Right? You can't just plant a seed and then tomorrow expect to have some corn.
Yep.
Right.
So I think those are probably some of the biggest objections that people give for farming. What would you guys say, and then we can kind of talk about the details, but what would you guys say are the best parts about farming?
Well, I think the biggest one is what I mentioned is the type of transaction typically. When you're buying a lead and you've now talked to them 10 times and they're ready to do something, there's still a level of I guess, distrust, right? And I just feel like the types of relationships that we have with our clients is so much better.
Yeah.
Those conversations are easier and better. And I think even after the transaction, so many of them are not just clients, they're friends now.
Yeah.
And they're repeat clients and they
Right.
come back time and time again.
Yeah,
So to me, that's the biggest difference.
I agree. And I would add that we get to stay in relationship with them because we see them at the events that we do,
Yes.
whether they're community events, team events, all of that. We are never the kind of agents that just do a deal with you and then move on
It's just
and
not
you
a
never hear from
transaction.
us again,
I
right?
mean, our goal
Yeah.
is to become their realtor for
Yeah.
life if we can.
Yeah.
If they're willing to do it and they want it, right?
Yeah, and I think our formula, our system allows for us to stay in relationship. What would you say?
Well, on that real quick,
Yeah.
I remember asking one of our brokers one time, what is the biggest mistake that you think all realtors make in general? And he said, hands down, the number one thing is they don't stay in relationship and they don't stay in touch with their previous clients. And that's the beauty of the events that we can, like almost every month, we have an opportunity to be in front of our folks and invite them personally to something. And that's huge.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. All right, Monday, what's your favorite part?
My favorite is connections. I think that was my calling is to be a connector of people.
I love it.
And with that connection brings the business, so that's just an extra bonus. But I love that I can connect people and see all the joy that they have with meeting the neighbors and feeling connected with a big picture.
Yeah.
Instead of just,
And not just neighbors, sometimes it's you're connecting them to something that's unrelated to real estate. You know, like it could be, hey, can you help me find somebody that can help me buy this car?
Right.
Super cool.
I get people, where's a good place, a good mechanic?
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with cars, but because they know that I'm connected and know a lot of people, they reach out, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I'm happy to reach out and make those recommendations. I would say I totally echo what you guys said. I think one of my favorite parts is that I get to make friends with so many of my neighbors. We just got finished doing 3 back-to-back trunk or treats in the community with a Power Ranch, but then also with the elementary schools, and seeing some of these people multiple times. And one of the families I was chatting with, like I've never helped them buy or sell real estate, but I've just seen them over the years, and their kids are getting bigger. They're teenagers now. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's so awesome to get to see that, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we get to be friends. I've met people in the neighborhoods that are truly dear friends. And I just think that is so awesome. Like, it's just such a great way. Again, that's like, I don't want to say I'm lead generating, but that's my form of lead generating, right? It's just by being out and meeting people, being helpful, providing a service, providing value. And it's so much better than, to me, just hounding the phones or paying for Zillow leads, right?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about buying leads is if you stop buying leads, the leads stop coming.
For sure.
And when you geographic farm, if you've built the relationships, that doesn't stop.
Yes.
Even when the market is challenging, they still come.
Yeah, which that's another great point is when you are, so people, when they're thinking about buying or selling, they're going to go with one of 3 agents. They're going to go with someone that was referred to them. They're going to go with a friend or a family member, or they're going to go with a neighborhood expert. And I always say that the way that we farm gives us the opportunity to be all 3.
Yes.
We get to know you and be in relationship with you. We get to be referred, because that's happened many times where someone that we've never even worked with has referred us to somebody that wants to move into the neighborhood. And then that repeat referral is awesome. And we're truly neighborhood experts. We really dive deep into our neighborhoods so that we know everything about them, so that we're super helpful when it comes to sharing information, because that's another kind of what you said earlier, Monday. You know, you can buy a home anywhere, right? Like you can buy a beautiful home anywhere, but what makes it so much better is where you live, getting to know your neighbors, right? That's like that sense of community just makes it so much better. Yeah.
Right. So it is. So I'm hearing neighbors, pulling in other families, and in our community in Barney Farms, we have many families that are multi-generational living in our neighborhood. So we have kids living with grandparents in another section in the neighborhood. So we have people coming in from all over that want to be together. So it's not just connecting with the neighborhood, it's connecting families so that you have this beautiful neighborhood to live in. You really don't have to leave.
Yeah.
So it's a great feeling when you see that, when you see these families even connecting.
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges that come with it too, but it's pretty rewarding. I had after one of my events, I want to say it was earlier this year, I think maybe the Easter egg hunt. We get a knock at the door, and these 2 little kids that live around the corner from me had a plate full of cookies and a big old thing of sourdough bread. And both the kids had made handwritten cards, and then the mom wrote something. And she said, we were driving home on the golf cart from the Easter egg hunt, and the little boy said something like, hey, Mr. Ryan always does all these cool things and fun things for the community. I wonder if anybody does anything nice for him.
I love that.
And so they made those and brought them over.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so cool.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, I took a picture of it.
Yeah. When you think about farming and you kind of look back at what has made you successful, what would you say? Thank you for watching the episode. Our podcast is called The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. And I love sharing these real life stories, but we are also in the real estate business. And so if you have any real estate needs, maybe you're thinking about buying or selling or wanting to invest in real estate, we would love to help you.
I think it's the consistency, but you've got to be passionate about wanting to be with people.
Yeah.
So
You gotta like people.
You've got to like people.
Yeah.
And in our community, it is great because there are some wonderful, great people that I've gotten to know over the years. They've all become friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you
just
guys have
those
traveled together.
We travel together.
Yes.
And in fact, we've traveled together, and I don't post on the private Barney Farms page
Yeah.
because we would love to take everybody with us.
Yeah.
But in my personal site, and then I have people call in, and I feel so bad. But our neighbors are calling, like, "Why didn't we know about the trip?" So it's that connection where you've got to love people, and you've got to be and build that friendship, and know that they really truly know that you care and love them. So I think that's huge.
Yeah.
You've got you can't.
I agree. I think anybody in real estate period, you have to like people.
You do.
Yeah.
And I think that's made us successful too, because we enjoy our neighborhoods, we enjoy our friends, and we love doing what we do. So it makes us continue to want to give back and to continue with having fun events. So if we didn't enjoy this, we wouldn't be putting our hearts and souls into how much time we put into our neighborhoods.
What would you say, Ryan?
I think similar, but you have to have a heart for service too.
Yes.
So I think where a lot of realtors or business owners go wrong is they approach people from a perspective, how can I get your business? How can I earn your business? Instead of how can I serve you?
Yes.
And a good example of that is going to the principal or the PTO president and say, what do you need help with?
Yes.
And show up. Don't just write a check, but show up. And they'll see pretty quickly what your intentions are. And that makes all the difference, because if you want to serve the community and you do these things for the right reasons, you're going to get blessed. It's going to come back to you. And I think for me, it's come from just how I was raised. Like I was thinking, my dad was on the school board. He was the president for like 25 years. Both my brothers have been the school board presidents. My mom was at every dang thing possible in the community. My grandpa, same thing. So it's just been kind of ingrained in me.
Yeah.
And when I discovered what we do really, it was like, oh, this is like right in line with my values and how I want to go about doing business.
I agree. I would say the biggest key to being successful with geographic farming is the consistency piece. I think you have to have a plan and you have to execute that plan regularly. Goes back to what you were saying earlier. It's not enough to just send a postcard a few times a month or do one event or whatever. It's the consistency where the win is found, and too many people give up just before that win, right? And it's like a consistency compounds, but it's like, I always use the analogy of like a snowball rolling down a hill, right? It starts out small, but by the time it gets to the end, it's really big and it propels itself ultimately, right? Yeah, you have to give it that initial push, but after that, once you get it rolling and it's systematized and it has a plan, it can grow on its own.
But that doesn't mean you're going to stop the marketing.
Never.
That just means now you've got the process, and now you just keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to go do all these new things.
100%.
Right? So it could be something as simple as you do a monthly newsletter, right? And then you have a quarterly event.
Yeah.
If you do those things alone, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you do it consistently.
Yeah. But I think too often people think, well, I sent some postcards and it just doesn't work that way.
Or I door knocked a couple times.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
because people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if they don't really know you, you can't expect for them to do business with you.
Yeah.
And to trust you.
Well, how many times do we get random postcards and random things from realtors once or twice, and then we never see them again?
Never see them again. Yeah.
Right? That you lack credibility there.
Well, yeah. When I started off my Legato farm where I live now, it was weird because you put your name and your face on everything, you brand it, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, okay, we got a realtor here, right? Until they meet me at an event, and then we're just, I would hope most of the time they're like, okay, yeah, he's pretty cool. And then there's a relationship. It's not just something, they get in there.
So I want to give some tangible things to our audience. If they're listening and they're interested in building their business this way, what would you guys say are some tangible pieces of wisdom that you would give them to be successful when it comes to geographic farming?
Yeah.
We talked about like our favorite things. We talked about what it takes. But what does that really look like?
So I think one of the biggest is you have to be able to touch people in different ways, as weird as that sounds. So you use you guys as a great example. One of you gets the mail and one of you never gets the mail. So you can't just do the mailer and then get to one person that may just throw it away. But then if you have a door knock or you have an email or some other approach, you're going to get to more.
Yeah,
right?
so I love that.
So multiple different things.
Different ways of touching your farm. So something in the mail, something on the door, something in their email. Maybe it's an email newsletter or a video
Social media.
invitation, and then echoing that with social media. So important.
And then, of course, the events.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's create a way that they can stay connected. So with our group, again, newsletters, they stay connected. But within Barney Farms, I created a Barney Farms Life Facebook page, and
Yes.
it's private, where I do screen every single person that tries to get in, and there's 5 a day that try to get into my
Yeah.
group. But it's to keep the neighborhood safe. But that's a way that the neighborhood could also stay connected with what's going on. So I think
Yeah.
that's another way to.
I love that. I think you've
Yeah.
done such a great job. What was great is your community was new, and so you were able to facilitate that. So if you're farming and you have a neighborhood and they don't have a neighborhood Facebook page, create one. And that's a great place to post your events. It's a great place for neighbors to connect with each other and ask questions. You also are really great about sharing the HOA events. So it's not just your events, it's really community wide. You also share some of the new things that are going up and around the community too. So it becomes like a great resource for the people that live there. And because you keep it private, it's authentic to who really lives there. So you're not getting a bunch of people from outside. I think
Right.
that's awesome.
Right, because the last thing I want for our neighborhood is to have a scammer
Yeah.
scam somebody.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
it's just keeping everybody protected.
Yes, I love
You know,
that.
but it's also we've got a lot of out-of-state new homeowners, and they do want to know what's going on around Queen Creek and the businesses and where to go, and so it just that's another way to connect.
Yeah, I love that. I think giving back is a great piece, because that was the way that our food drive was started, was feeling so grateful for our community for choosing us over and over as their number one choice for a realtor when it comes to buying or selling. And it was like, gosh, how do I show how grateful I am for that support? And that's how we came up with a food drive to support House of Refuge. So if there's a way that you can bring in some sort of charitable event where you can facilitate giving back. And the way that we do our food drive is awesome. We make it super easy for the residents, so they don't have to really do much. We deliver the bags
Here it is.
to them. Yep. We pick it up from them. All they have to do is fill it and leave it outside for us. And then we take that and deliver it to House of Refuge. And House of Refuge loves it. They say that it's their biggest food drive of the year. And we've done this consistently now.
This is our 12th year.
12th year. And it's super cool to see that. And the residents love it because we make it easy for them. And they get to feel like they're doing good too. So if you can add in, if you can market consistently, in a variety of ways, if you can do community events where neighbors can get to know each other, if you can add in social media, add in a Facebook group, and then some sort of charitable event where you're giving back and bringing all the neighbors in, I think that is a recipe for success.
And really, any business should do something to give back. So
Yeah.
I'm in a business network group, and one of my buddies has an HVAC company, and I was just telling him more about what we do, and he was just like, oh man, I could see his wheels turning. I said, you need to find a way
Yes.
to do something similar where you can give back to the community, and again, you'll be blessed. But
Yeah. That saying, blessed to be a blessing,
Yes.
is like what I think of, right? Like
Yeah.
we are blessed to get to serve our communities and work with so many homeowners in such a really big part of their life, right? Not very many people buy and sell multiple times throughout their life, of maybe a handful. And so the fact that we get to be a part of that and help facilitate it and facilitate it well, right? Because it can also not go well, but to know that you're gonna get your home sold for top dollar with us because we know what we're doing, we have that experience, and then help make it as stress-free as possible. There's so much value in that. So
yeah, I was just thinking about the repeat clients. I have a couple in my neighborhood now, and they used to live in my other farm, and they are responsible for 5 different transactions that have come from that.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
yeah, it is crazy.
And hopefully more someday. So let's talk about events. So we do some pretty cool things, big ones and some smaller ones. What are your favorites?
I think my new favorite is the casino night.
Oh, nice.
I think that was fun.
Yeah.
But I also love, so I do a little something, and I know, Ryan, you started this too, but we have Santa Claus come around.
Yeah.
So we just started when this is our 3rd year for Santa. I drive them around in a golf cart, and we go to each child's home and we deliver a gift personally. So when those kids open those doors It's
fun.
amazing. They just lose their minds to see Santa Claus
Yes.
on their front porch.
It
with a
is
small
fun,
gift.
and I
It's
totally
fun.
give you credit for it. I just stole the
fun.
idea, but it is so fun. So we basically send out an invitation to the parents. Say, hey, if you would like Santa to come see your kids on this date, let us know. It's a 2-hour window or 3 because it's getting so big, and we just drive Santa around, and it's so fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. What would you say?
I have several. I love the food drive. I
Mm-hmm.
love our bouquets and brews,
Yes.
which we can maybe not. I know Ryan likes to hold that
Yeah.
one tight. I love like the
It's
small
cool.
events, like when I do ladies' nights and things like that, because it just always feels fun and
Yeah.
intimate, and I just love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love our summer movie, and I love seeing all the families come out. And then also another favorite one for me, and this is like probably the easiest thing that we do is our pie pickup, because I love the time of year.
Yep.
And it's right before Thanksgiving, and everybody's happy, and they get to come and pick up their pie and be on their way, and I just love it.
Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, and that's a common one
Yeah.
that a lot of realtors do.
It is.
But it's a money one
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people love it and they look forward to it every year. I have many too for different reasons.
Yeah.
So one that requires an immense amount of work, but it's super fun, is the Cornhole for a Cause.
Yes.
So we have a cornhole tournament. It's a charity cornhole tournament, and businesses get to sponsor a lane, and they get to go home with their branded cornhole set. But it's just, very well attended. It's right here in Power Ranch, and we always get to pick someone to
Yes.
benefit from that, and that's so cool. But it's monumental. Like it takes
It's
months of
so
work.
much work.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so much work, but it is so
Yeah.
amazing when you're able to bless a family with a check, because so many people
Yeah.
came together to support
Yeah.
their cause.
So cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty partial to the movies in the park.
Yeah.
Because I love being outside, and we do them in the spring and the fall. So I
Yeah.
do 4 of them.
Yep.
And that's always fun, and the kids love it because it's free popcorn and
Yep.
drinks for them. The Easter egg hunt for me, those are big because
Yep.
we bust out 8,000 Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And of course the Easter Bunny's there, and again that takes a lot of work too.
So fun though.
But we luckily have some really good business partnerships with other vendors, and so they help with that cost, and that's very nice. So back to the whole cost concern, you can do farming without having to pay for everything, right? So you just find strategic partnerships.
Oh, for sure. That's huge for me when we do something, is how can I bring partners in to help support this event, this cause, whatever, and share some of that financial burden.
Yeah.
And it gets them in front of the audience too. So,
Yeah, and I think that's key. Like I don't want them just to give us money to help pay for something. I want them to be there too, so that the people there can see them and get to know them as well,
for sure.
and create those relationships that we get to have. So.
Which, I mean, that's just a whole other point, but that's such a great point, is that when you do these things, it's so important that you're out and about talking to people, meeting people, getting in relationship with
Yeah.
people. It's not enough to just set up and show up and like sit there.
Just
you
have a
actually have
booth.
to talk to people. Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. Just
Yeah.
putting up your realtor booth.
Yeah.
Like no.
Yeah.
That's the challenge with some of the bigger events,
Yeah.
that we don't get to spend, we don't get to spend as much time with individuals. Whereas the smaller things, we can really hang out and talk and have
Yeah.
fun. And
Yeah.
and there's a lot of stress that comes with events because everything's got to go right,
Yeah.
and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know one of my favorites is a smaller event. It's our Mother's Day tea party.
Yes.
So I do invite
Lots of ladies.
lots of ladies
Yeah.
to our home.
I love it. And you do it so beautiful Monday.
So it's
Yeah.
actually like a little tea garden.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully, I know from me personally, I would want to live in Bonnie Farms just because of that.
There you go.
Not only do they have some cool amenities, but to be a part, not the tea party, but to be a part of the, so many things that you do there.
That's awesome.
It's fun.
All right, you guys, what didn't we talk about that we should have? I would say if anyone's listening to this, any realtors, and they're thinking, that sounds like something I might want to do, reach out. We're happy to chat with you. I think it's the best way to build your business. It's the most authentic to who I am as a person, kind of like what you said earlier. It's how I try to live my personal life. And so it just makes sense that my business would reflect that. And it's so super cool because we get to do it with our families. Our families
Yes.
are totally involved in everything that we do, from all the community events, all the giving back, all of that. And that's really cool too. So
That's a really good point. I often will have people from out of state that see it on social media. They're like, it's cool that you get your kids involved. And they are very involved. More than they probably want.
right.
And
right.
most of the time it's service. It's
Yeah.
not paid.
yeah.
But I do pay them
Yeah.
for some things.
My Mallory tried to ask me, am I getting paid for
Yeah,
this?
that's the
I'm like,
same question I get. Yes. It depends on what it is.
Did you get dinner last night? Okay.
Exactly. You have a car that
Yeah.
you don't have to pay for or insurance?
Yeah,
Okay,
right?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bless
so I
that,
remind
yeah.
them of that.
Yeah.
But like so door hangers is a big one. So when we're farming, when we're listing a property in a neighborhood, we have a series of door hangers that we put on the neighbors' doors for different reasons. And I'm so busy now, I pay my teenagers to do that. And I pay them well. It takes
Yeah.
them an hour and they get,
Right.
way more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
And they get some exercise and it's cool. But that's when I pay them
Yeah.
all the time for.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're gonna help out at a movie event, they get some popcorn and some pop.
Right. And my husband and I,
Yeah.
we hand deliver
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
400 newsletters. And we do have neighbors, gracious neighbors who help us, but
It's so
it's
neat.
every month we personally hand deliver.
Yeah.
Now all 3 of my kids have been the Easter Bunny,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which is funny.
And he's been my Easter bunny.
Yeah. So after
1 year.
big events like that where there's a lot of setup and takedown, we're going out to eat dinner, and a lot of their friends that are helping, we hook them up. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys. This was fun, and it's really fun to be in costume and have a serious conversation too.
Yeah. So hopefully we enlightened you a little bit on geographic farming and
Yes.
how we do it anyway.
Yes,
And I will say it's a pretty cool way to do real estate.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I love it.
Well, and I love the collaboration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because with putting on big events, you really do need to be with a trusted
Yes.
partner
Yeah.
and to work with, because it's a lot of work and you really have to plan
Yep.
far in advance. So
Yep.
it's fun to work
Yeah.
with such a
Oh,
great
yeah.
team
I
and plan
agree.
these events.
And just trade cool ideas. And
Yes.
Exactly.
we try stuff that doesn't work, and we hit home runs too.
Yeah.
And we keep those as perpetual
Oh yeah.
events. So
That's awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Real Deal podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can follow us on social media at the Home Selling Team AZ.